Hey everyone, finished watching the first episode of Power Rangers Jungle Fury. Welcome to the Jungle Part 1. After 2 years of rap-influenced theme songs, we're back to rock. This time it's more of a 2000s pop feel. I like this. It kind of reminds me of Bowling for Soup and Smash Mouth. Deep in the mountains, a secret martial arts academy trains our future protectors. 3 will be chosen above the others. 3 who will become Power Rangers. Yeah, there's definitely some superficial similarity to Ninja Storm here. A group of students take part in a sparring match to determine which 3 will move on. There's a young man, Theo, a girl, Lily, and another young man, Jared, all of whom unleash spirit-like energy. Jared takes joy in tormenting his opponent. Their master orders them to stop. He selects Jared, Lily, and Theo. The students disperse, but the master, Mao, keeps an eye on Jared. He sees him harass a younger student and push another unprovoked. Jared mocks the student he just pushed, and the student unleashes his own energy that throws Jared back. The student is confused. He didn't know he had this kind of power. Jared is about to pick a fight with him when Master Mao steps in. A little bit later, Lily and Theo were joined by the student Jared had an altercation with. Master Mao leads them to an underground room below one of the academy temples. He tells them Jared was dismissed. He then introduces the third student here, Casey. He has the courage to stand up for others and has the potential to be a Tiger Master. He then explains some lore. 10,000 years ago, an evil being, Dai Shi, waged war against humanity. Ancient masters captured Dai Shi in a box. Master Mao shows them the very box. He says the Pai Shui Order of the Claw Academy was built with the intention of training protectors if Dai Shi was to escape. Casey speaks up. He's not sure if he's ready for such responsibility. Just then, Jared rushes in. He attacks Mao. The box drops and Dai Shi is freed. The dark entity throws Mao against the wall and escapes. Mao gives the students directions to a new master. Before the Rangers can react, Mao disappears into a flash of light. In the forest surrounding the school, Jared is running away. He hears something call to him. It's Dai Shi. Theo, Lily, and Casey, meanwhile, follow Mao's directions to a pizza place. They see an old Asian man and assume he's their new master. It turns out he's just a customer, but then the head chef comes out. He introduces himself. His name is RJ. Elsewhere, a mysterious man summons minions, the Rin Shi. He places a metal doohickey on one's forehead, changing him and giving him new powers. A woman, Camille, enters the room. She compliments Dai Shi on his new body. Back with the Pai Shui students, RJ offers them a job until their master shows up. Theo isn't big on the idea, but the others do like the idea. Suddenly, they hear a crash outside. They run out and come face to face with the Rin Shi. The lead Rin Shi transforms into a monster. He's got the students cornered, but then someone steps in. It's RJ. He reveals on his arm is the symbol of the Pai Shui Order of the Claw. He easily drives off the bad guys. Dai Shi is disappointed with his minions and sends them back out, this time led by Camille, who has her own monster form. RJ leads the students back to the pizza place and we meet Fran, a friend of RJ. She talks a lot. RJ takes the students to the back. It's the team's new living/workout space. The only rule is not to sit in his chair. RJ hands out new uniforms. Some nearby monitors suddenly come on and they see the Rin Shi attacking again. RJ tells the students that fighting evil is their job. He has a pizza place to run. He has something that might even the odds, though. He opens a drawer, and inside are 3 pairs of sunglasses. The students are confused, but then he explains that these aren't any ordinary sunglasses. They're solar morphers. He asks if they've ever heard of the Power Rangers. Yeah, who hasn't, responds Casey. RJ goes on to explain that while the Power Rangers aren't part of the Order of the Claw, he knew a guy who knew another guy who had an uncle who had a connection that tapped into the Morphing grid and created them. He hands out the morphers and the Rangers go out and find Camille. Lily and Theo morph into the yellow and blue Rangers. Casey tries to morph but can't for some reason. He sees Fran getting attacked by the monster but gets held back by Rin Shi. This is a great premiere, especially coming off of Overdrive. It's a breath of fresh air after Overdrive just kind of gave up and went sputtering along to an underwhelming conclusion. There's quite a few similarities to past premieres. The most overt is definitely a martial arts school similar to Ninja Storm, as well as 3 Rangers and their colors. Both have villains with a connection to a teacher from the school. Unlike Ninja Storm, the Paishwa students are uniquely adept, while the Wind Ninja students were decidedly not top of their class. Both teams have unconventional mentors. Ninja Storm had a guinea pig, Jungle Fury has a pizza chef. Casey is unable to morph at first, similar to Nick from Mystic Force, though I have no idea what's keeping Casey from morphing here. Does he not believe in magic enough? The Rangers are all likable enough at this point, but none really get much focus. Theo is very rule-oriented. He likes when things go according to order. Lily is more casual. She believes in what she's doing, but is more willing to have fun than Theo. Casey's a bit of a mystery. He stands up to Jared, and it's implied by Mao this wasn't an unusual thing for him to do. Casey has some latent natural power, but isn't fully aware of how to use it. Maybe that's why he can't morph right away. He's not as experienced in Pai Shui training. Though RJ said the Power Rangers weren't part of the Pai Shui, moving on. Casey is a tad reluctant to jump into danger at first, but ultimately does go along with his team. Jared is an interesting character. He's a jerk. Years of martial arts training only seem to have made him aggressive. Despite his outward aggression, he's a coward and runs away after Daishi is freed. He's also probably possessed by Daishi. Daishi gains a new human body, according to Camille. We don't see his face, but we do see long brown hair, and it's definitely Jared's. Master Mao is a stern but reasonable teacher, though he's also a bit stupid to be handling the precariously locked box containing Daishi during a fight. I'm not sure why he even had to personally take the students to see it. At the very least, he should have locked the door behind him. RJ's a seemingly laid-back dude, but there may be more to him than we've seen yet. The cast of Jungle Fury has mostly remained in show business. Casey was played by Jason Smith. Before Power Rangers, he was well known for his role of Robbie Hunter on the New Zealand soap opera Home and Away. After Power Rangers, he branched into writing and returned to Power Rangers and Super Megaforce. He wrote a few episodes of that season and even reprised his role as Casey. He's still active in TV and film today. Lily was played by Anna Hutchinson. She had some big roles before Power Rangers, including the New Zealand soap opera Shortland Street. She was featured in the Disney TV movie Wendy Wu, where she worked with Power Rangers director Koichi Sakamoto. She's best known as Jules Loudon in the horror film The Cabin in the Woods. Theo was played by Aljan Abella. He's a big stage actor in Australia and New Zealand, and still active in both film and TV. After Power Rangers, he went on to play roles in Disney stage musicals. Jared was played by B.D. Skinner. Power Rangers was his first major role, and he remains active in film and television to this day. RJ was played by David De La Tour. He had some big roles before Power Rangers and television. After Power Rangers, he branched out into directing and voice acting. He voiced Virgil in a Devil May Cry game, and even returned to the Power Rangers franchise to voice RJ for the Battle for the Grid game. Also, he contributed to the soundtrack of the movie Blood Punch, which featured mostly Power Rangers RPM cast and crew. Master Mao was played by Nathaniel Lees. He's been an actor since the 80s and had many roles in big productions before and after Power Rangers. He played the centaur Chiron? I don't know how to pronounce that. In Hercules, as well as the prequel series Young Hercules. In Lord of the Rings, he played the orc Ugluk. One of his best-known roles is Mifune in the Matrix series. He remains active in TV and film as well as theater. Daishi was voiced by Jeff Dolan, who's voiced many other Power Ranger characters and appeared on screen a few times. Before Daishi, he voiced Korag in Mystic Force and would later voice Gosei in Megaforce. Camille was played by Holly Shanahan, who previously played Lily in Mystic Force. Great premiere! Nothing groundbreaking, it's a pretty standard premiere, but the crew behind the show was clearly improved since the previous seasons. I enjoyed this far more than I have in the past. Hopefully that's a sign of things to come. So that's it for this one, hope you enjoyed it. See ya.
So I knew this guy who had an uncle who knew this other guy who had an uncle who had an uncle who had a connection who had an uncle